right, good evening, everyone. Welcome back on the Speaker Show. Oh my goodness, um, tonight I am very happy because I know that we're gonna have a great time tonight, and I am super excited for what we're gonna be getting into tonight, and I can't just wait. All right, so a little bit of intro. I welcome each and every one of you tonight. Welcome on the Speaker Show. My name is Nini Olafata, and I'm the host of the Speaker Show. Now, the Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. What do we do on the Speaker Show? We coach, we mentor, we support, we give you motivation because we believe very strongly that each and everyone has a purpose. Each and everyone has something inside of them. And we believe that you can't do it alone. You need the right platform, the right people, to surround yourself. So, and this is why we have this platform in order to support you, to guide you, to make you understand that you are not alone. All right. So, that being said, before I go into what we want to talk about, like I said, that I am super, super excited for tonight. But I will tell you this, please, 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 if you're joining for the first time, please don't forget to click on the notification button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. Please let someone else be a blessing of this amazing section, amazing episode. So please don't just keep it to yourself. Share with your loved ones. Let them be part of it, and let us enjoy ourselves and have a very great time tonight. All right, so like all of you know, we've got a great guest tonight. This person that we have, I am super happy to talk about him because I see that he's an amazing leader, like with the things that he's doing in the city of Toronto and all over. He's everywhere. Trust me, he is everywhere and he's doing great things. And see, the beauty of this show is when we have great mentors, when we have great people, great leaders, and we can learn from them because there's something inside of them that's propelled them to push forward, to aspire for greatness, for whatever that they're doing in their life. And we sitting down here to learn from them, I think it's a blessing. So please, please, please help me welcome my very, 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 very dear friend. We're going to be going into him tonight. He's going to be telling us more about all the things that he's into. He's going to be giving us all the juices. So, but just allow me to introduce my dear guest tonight. All right. So help me welcome Mr. Samuel in our midst tonight. Hi, hi, hi.
Amazing, amazing. Hi, Nini. It's a pleasure being on this show tonight. Thank you so much for the privilege of being on this call with the amazing people in the background. Thank you very much. Hi to everybody. My name is Samuel Ajoba, and I'm excited to be here this evening. Thank you.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. First of all, let me tell you this. I know you're a very busy person. I know that. And the fact that you took the time to be here with us tonight, I just want to say a very big thank you to you. I appreciate that a lot.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
That's good. All right. So let's get into it. Because, I think because I was so excited, I didn't get to do the whole intro very well. So pardon me for that.
Not a problem at all. Trust me.
All right. So tell us a little bit about you. Let us know who you are.
Oh, my name is Samuel Ajobo, and I like to say for myself that I am just this man that is traveling on this earth and on a journey of purpose, right? And
Amazing.
yes, so I'm born Nigerian, but I've been in Canada for more than a decade now, and I'm a project manager in construction. But really, the biggest thing that is my calling, my passion, and you can say is being a community member, being a community server. So I work with what we call ABLE Foundation, so the Alliance of Black Employee Experience and Leadership, and I'm honored to be the founder for it. And we work with a lot of youths across 6 provinces across the country, and we do a lot with the community and just strengthening each other and saying that we groom leaders of the future, that we actually build a society that is more loving and that is more inclusive. So it's always a pleasure being on shows like this, with leaders like yourself, Nini. and bringing the experience within construction, the experience within community, the experience within service, and being able to learn and being able to sharpen each other and grow together. So thank you for bringing me on. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Amazing, amazing. I love the intro. Trust me. And you know
Thank
what? You know what? Honestly, tonight, I know we chatted a little bit, but I would really like, for people to really know what, um, what you're really, really into. So
Yep.
I really want that to be hard because, a lot, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of black folks, a lot of people, they might not know, and
Yep.
probably like they're looking for opportunity, they're looking for somewhere to grow. And when you tell us more, about what Ebel is all about, then I think that would be amazing.
So I know I did a quick run through there between Ellis Don and Able because it's really one is a for profit and one is a non-profit, right? So I did that old
Amazing.
try like a quick intro there. But if I really focus on the passion and what really is my calling, which is Able Foundation, Able really, um, it's all about the fact that when we look out into the professional world today, there's really a lack of diversity. That was something we noticed. We saw a very big lack of diversity. And for us, it was a sense of how do we go about this? Well, how do we go about this in a way that is actually effective? We don't just want to do everything that other people do. I just don't want to be part of the crowd. I just don't want to do something because people feel good about it or I feel good about it. But I want to do it because it is actually I'm sent to do it. Right. So really, when it comes to Able, the vision is really a global shift in embracing the Black experience in an holistic and sustainable way. And everything is based and grounded on values that are upheld by what I call love, to be honest with you. And what we do is actually work with community a lot with youths. We work with a lot of youths, high school youths, middle school youths, and obviously those in first or second year of college or university. And we actually talk about how do you find your light? How do you find what you've been sent to this world to do? What is it inside of you that you got to give the word? Because we believe that everybody carries something. You are equipped with something that nobody else in this entire world has. So we work with you to figure that out. We work with you on projects, activities, programs that helps you to find that and helps you to know how to create a platform to shine that thing inside of you. And so we work with youth all the way from grade 9, grade 10. And one of the things we do is we create projects with them and they actually talk about, hey, I'm black, I'm non-black, I'm white, I'm brown, I'm able, I'm disabled, but what can I do with my talents to spread love through the black experience? What can I do about that? And we begin to see very interesting things because they use their talents. They use their dancing skills, they use their singing skills, they use their talking skills, their ability to communicate, just like you, Nini, and the team there, they use these platforms to actually express, you know, their desire about that world, right? And what we do is we provide them mentorship. We have professionals from some of the multinational organizations in the country. They provide them mentorship. We have some of them going on work placements. Even before graduation of high school, they are actually working in multinational organizations. And then we provide bursaries towards their career. So they go to university, they go to college a little bit stress free when it comes to incurring, debts and capital for education, right? So these are a lot of things we do. And it's amazing because we have real results across Toronto, Edmonton, Calgary, BC, Halifax, Ottawa. We have students that started in grade 10, grade 9, and now they are in fourth year of college, and they've been working, doing everything, and they are looking like amazing leaders because they are. So that's a little bit of what we do from Able standpoint. We've worked with more than 1,000 students in the last 4 years. We've provided bursaries to more than 270 students across the country. We've actually placed close to about 60 students from high school to work in multinationals like Ellis Don Corporation, the biggest construction company in the country. We've placed students to work in KPMG, a global representation of accounting and finance across the world. So these are amazing things that are happening. But again, it's not just me. is a conglomerate of amazing individuals, amazing people with purpose, teachers, parents, families, youths, community members like yourself, right? And people that just care. Even others from other community organizations that serve other purposes, you know, it is a joint effort of spreading love through the Black experience. I hope I didn't talk a lot right there, but that is the bit of who we are.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think that's amazing, honestly speaking. The fact that one can just that drive alone, that zeal to just want to be an impact to someone else. I think it's just that just work because these days many people don't want to do anything, and then looking at you as an example, as an evidence of that, I think that's amazing. Congratulations on that. And then,
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
still
you.
going to be getting into that because I know there will probably be other youths, that they would like to like get involved, like, to know exactly where you guys are. Because I know you guys are in downtown Toronto, if I'm right.
Yeah, we are. You're correct in terms of geography, and I think people can actually reach us at Able, ABEEL. Once you put it in Google, foundation.ca, you'll be able to send us an email, reach out to us to know where we are within your jurisdiction. So, obviously, in Toronto, we have presence, as you said, close to the downtown core. We have presence close to the Etobicoke region. We look at the conclave. We actually don't go to every schools, every academic institution within a city. We actually go to very selected areas of impact. So we have a lot when it comes to the Etobicoke area. We do. We have some close to the east end on the Scarborough side, Lawrence side. We really want to ensure that we are maximizing impact, right? So that's where we are in the Toronto region, and obviously other cities. I can talk about the other cities, but we, if you are in Toronto, I'm sure there is something close to you.
Amazing, amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Okay, so now we're gonna be getting into the real deal. Are you
Yeah.
ready?
I gotta be ready, I believe. So. Yeah.
So now I know you talk about love and you talk about passion and you talk about, the purpose. So tell me personally, and then we titled this like, the how to live a fulfillment life. So tell me, how can you relate this with your purpose and you finding the path as an individual?
Okay. Um, I got to say that I traveled a lot when it comes to this. And when I use the word travel, it means I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of trials and errors, a lot of back and forth and everything until I was opportune by grace. You hear me? You're saying the word grace a lot. I was opportune by grace to really be able to figure this part out. There's obviously, I've not figured out everything in life. I got to say that because we're talking about a topic that is very contingent on time, contingent on relationship, contingent on knowledge, and all of those different contingencies are things that you grow in, right? So you have a lot of people that grow in age, but they don't grow in the kind of quality of relationships they have, and some people grow in age or grow in relationship, but they don't grow in the quality of knowledge materials they take in, right? So I want to say that over time for me, it was how to create a balance of all three. Because I believe that for you as a human being, there are four assets in life. There is assets, what we call time. There is assets of knowledge. There's assets of relationship, and there is assets of money. But the least important of all four is money. But what's funny is that whenever you have money, the only thing you should do with money is to buy the other three. So it took me some time to actually get there. And what I got to understand is that every human being in my belief system and I have my belief system grounded I'm a Christian, to put it that way. And one of the things I got to say is you have purpose. You come to this earth with a purpose. And what you need to understand is that for you to fulfill that purpose, there is a strategy around that purpose. So sometimes people find purpose, but they don't wait for strategy. And what happens is for strategy to be productive, for strategy to be efficient and to produce results, you need grace at every level of that strategy.
That's
And
true.
that is where the quality of relationship you have, the building your character through relationships, building your character through how you manage time and resources, building your character through the kind of knowledge materials you take in will begin to open you up to the different graces you need to carry out that strategy, right? But the big thing is you need to wait to actually figure out that purpose. And a lot of people will be like, oh, how do I figure out a purpose, right? How do I figure it out? You know, how do I know my purpose, right? And it
Mhm.
took us a bit of time to actually get to this also, or it took me. And my hope is that it doesn't take a lot of people coming downstream, or even those that maybe they are older than myself, they are way ahead. It's so funny that it doesn't matter what level. If you figure out the purpose, there's always grace available. Okay, so I want to say that. So in terms of figuring it out, what I figured out is that everybody has a light in them. Sorry, has a capacity to turn on a light inside of them. Everybody has a capacity to turn on the light inside of them. But what is that light? So what I figured out is when you look at yourself in the mirror and look at what are the things I enjoy doing. Okay, I like to talk. I like to dance. I like to sing. I like to write. I like to, whatever it is you like to do. I like to attend to detail. I like to listen. I like to talk. I like to cook. If you can look for activities, career paths, you can look for programs that allows you to take many of those things you like to actually use them for that particular activity or program. You'll be so surprised that most of the time, you are
Mhm.
actually going to be working within purpose because anything you find yourself that doesn't take the talents and giftings in you and maximize them, you are probably in the wrong place. So what I notice is that whenever I'm selecting something I want to be part of, I look at what are the things that Samuel liked to do that is natural to me. Things that my parents have been saying from a young age. Oh, you like to do this. Oh, for some people it's like you like to argue. Oh, for some people is that you like to run. Oh, you like sports. You like this.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
I look for spaces that allow me to bring many of those things I am meant to be, many of those things I like to do, if I look for spaces that actually embrace those things in me, most of the time, more
Mhm.
times than not, you will be within purpose. So that is
Mhm.
something I found out for myself, and that's something I am very open to talk to any person about because that is what actually helped me. The moment I was able to say, "Oh, Samuel, I care about people a lot. I like to serve. I like to talk to people. I like to see people being strengthened. I like to be part of the community." That begin to realign the fact of, okay, what kind of spaces allow me to do this to the maximum, and that was what brought about Able.
Wow. 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 Amazing. Amazing. I like the way you tied everything into one another.
Hopefully, I'm not passing a lot of information. Is my only. I'm just, I'm just worried. I'm talking somebody's ears too full out there. But please, please, please.
That's okay. Because it is important that everyone finds a purpose. It is important that I was talking to someone the other day, and the person was literally telling me that I believe that my purpose is to help others, to uplift others, to just guide them. You know, even though they remember me later on when they get to the top, it doesn't matter. But it's just to help them. I think that is amazing. You know, whatever path that you find yourself, whatever purpose that you find yourself in, that this is what you are good at. So, and you're an example of that, living that. And, I give you that credit so much. So, good job.
So thank you. And to that person that you said, and I think I think I want to put a caveat here, if it's okay with you. If
Absolutely.
it is okay for me to say this, it's important to know that what we are all meant to be in terms of purpose is always meant to be good. It's always meant to make the world a more loving place. a place
Absolutely.
where people feel like they belong and they feel like they're included. But not everybody has to go through the route that is so, um, I want to use the right word here, that is so, lack of word, common. So if somebody says, I want to help people, sometimes they feel like the only way they can do that is by being in a non-profit, or being in, working in a shelter, or maybe they are working in a religious setting, or maybe
Hmm.
they feel that sense of like that's what help looks like. But what I want to say to you is, when you feel a sense of help, you have to look at yourself and, what are my talents? What are the things I have? And whatever space that embraces those talents, you'll be so surprised that room will be made for you to use that talent to help someone. So you're gonna
Hmm.
notice that if your talent is that you're very book smart and you're like, oh, I want to help, you might be so surprised. You might go to the pathway of becoming a research engineer, or a medical doctor, or maybe you're going to be in the trades world. Maybe you are going to be an electrician, or something that requires a lot of brain power. And you're going to notice that while you're in that space, because it embraces your feeling of wanting to help others, space will be made for you to be able to propagate that person to the people around you. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, I want to help people, and you feel like there's only a space for that. No. What matters is there's always a space for your giftings to do what you are meant to be. Right. And that is something I just want to stress out
I
there.
agree. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for
No
that.
problem.
Okay, so I'm going to go to my next question.
Yeah.
So, what is one misconception that people often have about living a fulfilling life? What do you think about that?
Okay. Okay. For that piece, at least for myself, is that that is something you're going to do for a lifetime.
Hmm.
Sometimes we feel like there's a destination to it, right? I think sometimes people are like, oh, fulfillment means, you know what, I've gotten to that point. Maybe I have the luxury cars, I have the luxury house, I have this, I have that, I have my kid, my wife, my kids, and everything. And that is, I've lived a fulfilled life. The moment you find out that you get to a point where you think you've gotten to a destination,
Hmm.
you are probably in trouble at that point. Because when it comes to the journey of fulfillment, it's always the fact of going to a higher level of impact, higher level of growth. There's a growth aspect to it,
Hmm.
right? And that means obviously your career needs to be really good. That means you need to grow in terms of, if you are going to the side of being a married person and a family person, you should be married, you should have kids, you should have nice cars, you should have all of these things. But again, it should be a continuous growth. That's
I
what I
agree.
want to say, right? There's no time limitation or a time limit to fulfillment. Until the day you leave this earth, fulfillment, the quest for fulfillment continues. That's something I must say that sometimes people think is a destination. It's just accumulation of a lot of milestones until you leave this earth.
Amazing. That's good. I couldn't agree less. Honestly speaking, it is true. Like you just have to keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it. There's no time to stop. See,
There's
that's why
no
we have
time to
all these
stop.
great people out there, and you wonder like how come this person is still doing what they're doing?
I
It's
know.
just because it's just what it is that they just have to keep on going. They can't stop. So,
You're so correct. And it doesn't matter if maybe you make mistakes along the way, or maybe
mhm,
you have the most successful day. You have
mhm,
to find the way to keep going and ensuring that the past only informs the present, but
mhm.
doesn't determine the future.
Okay, so now thank you for that. My next question is this. Do you think that fulfillment is actually about mindset or it is circumstances?
That's a great question. 100%, I believe it's all about mindset. I believe the circumstances shape your mindset too, depending on how you allow them.
Yes.
And what I would say, and that's something I didn't touch on when I was talking about purpose, strategy, and grace. I didn't talk about that. Is the one thing you need to be able to even do all three
Hmm.
is determining the things you see and the things you hear. You have to see the right things. You have to hear the right things. So when I face the
Yeah.
circumstances, whether it is positive or negative, what matters is what do I see in that circumstances and what do I hear from it. Because the circumstances could be facts, but that might not be the truth. But it really depends on what I allow my mind to hear and see from that circumstances that is a fact. Right? So I just want to say that it's all about mindset. And mindset is all about what you hear and what you see and how it shapes your art
Mhm.
to become who you ought to be.
Amazing. That's good. And that's gonna lead me to to another question.
Yeah.
So, there's so many people that we get surrounded with all the time. And one way or the other, they influence what we think, how we reason. So, my question is this: how do you think, or what do you think that people can do if the people around them actually influence their fulfillment as individual?
So, um, this is a great question because the fact is that you got to understand. For me, the way I look at it is you can't. You got to only have people around you that partner or empower your vision, that empower your purpose. Right?
Hmm.
You need to understand that you need. Like I don't want to say from a religious standpoint because I'm a faith person, as I said in the beginning. But there is
Hmm.
something that I really believe a lot, which I need to guard the entryways into my art. You know, there is somebody that's called James Allen. James Allen said something. He said, "You can't travel or journey within and stand still without."
Hmm.
So that means it always starts from the inside. And what the people around you do is they say things, they show you things that begins to shape the inside of you. The only reason why, somebody says Samuel in a crowd and I'm going to turn is because I've heard that so much, so
Hmm.
many times over the last many years to know that that is my name. Right? Just like when they said the speaker show, I've known so much to know that this is this show, right? Is a thing that I've heard again and again and hear again and again. So that's what shapes me. So if the people around me that I hear the most, that I see the most, I hear them so often and see them so often that they are moving me away from purpose, then it's myself to blame, to be honest with you. I never pass blame to anybody else. I cannot you know, giving blame to somebody else is giving power to them. So you need to take control of the entryways into your life. So the
Hmm.
things you see, the things you hear, if the people around you, are great friends, they tell you the right things, show you the right things that only helps you to be a better version of yourself, keep them around. And also think of being a way, being a blessing to them too. Try to look for the right things to show them, try to look for the right things to tell them. But if you notice it doesn't feed into you, is bringing you back, know this. You can't pass that blame to your friends. You can't pass that blame to that person. Is that blame is strictly on you. And the moment you can realize that very quickly, the better it is. But the other thing is this: when you realize it, it's never too late to just make the right decision. There's nothing to feel bad about. Sometimes we have those friends, those people we actually have around for many years, and you're like, I can't believe I was a friend to that person for that long. That is
Hmm.
fine. You got to be compassionate to yourself. It's part of the whole
That's
journey, right?
it.
It's part of the whole journey, right?
Yes.
And that's what we say. The journey of fulfillment is a journey, right? But when you figure it
Yes.
out, you can take this to the bank. It's all about what you see and what you hear. That's what you become. So you
Hmm.
need to look for the right people. And if you don't have them around you, trust me, it's better for you to be in the corner of your house by yourself
Hmm.
and just looking at the right videos, listening to the right people, reading the right books, listening to the right podcasts is better off than to actually engage the wrong people into your environment. It shapes you very much. That's what advertisements are all about. They shape you. That's what it is. So you
Yes.
gotta seize control of that. You gotta turn off that TV. You gotta turn off that movie if it doesn't help you. And you gotta watch that movie if it helps you. You gotta look at the ads if it helps you. So it's really up to you at that point. Does that answer your question?
It absolutely does. And then, another thing is this, it is so true that whatever you surround yourself with actually shapes you indirectly or directly. It could be movie that you like, just like you said. It could be a particular music. I remember I know someone that used to be like, I love Beyonce so much. Why do you like Beyonce? I just love her hectic. Do you understand? So
Yeah,
one way or the other, that kind of person, the music is going to shape the person. The
that's
work
correct.
ethic is going to shape the person. That if this person could be this, I could be this. Do you understand?
That is.
So it is so true that whatever you surround, just even little things, actually shape you into who you
You know what's so funny? One person will look at, let's use for example, based on the fact that you used that Beyonce. One person will look at Beyonce and start trying to create a career that is as successful as Beyonce. The other
are.
person might look at Beyonce and just be thinking about wanting to be a parent like her. And the other person might be looking at her and wanting to become as rich as her, right? So it's so funny that we look at different things and we see different things from it because we're humans and we begin to read different information from that thing. So you need to know your purpose so that when you look at people, you are hearing and seeing the right thing from their lives, their experiences, their actions to feed your purpose. I think that is something I just want to say. It's because it's just amazing how we can look at the same information and get different responses from it.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. Okay, so I'm gonna be asking you one more question, but then before that, we're gonna be going to my audience. So please, if there's anyone that would like to ask me any question, like if there's something that resonate with you, if there's something that you would just like to know, please drop your question in the comment section, and I'm gonna be taking them in like a minute from now. So, but before that, while you're preparing your question, please drop it there. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna quickly ask you this question real sharp. Don't worry, it won't take time.
Thank you.
So, how do you actually differentiate being happy and being fulfilled?
So, you remember I said fulfillment is a journey.
Mhm,
And the way I look at it is that when you're on that journey, happiness is a byproduct at different milestones. That's what it is for me. Is that when you're in purpose and you're journeying in purpose, there'll be milestones. But
mhm,
sometimes some people make a mistake of seeing milestones as destinations. So their life, their career, their pathway becomes stunted. And sometimes you might face challenges that will want you to feel like those milestones are destinations and you get stunted. But the moment you can actually just celebrate your milestones, you got to enjoy the milestones. Whenever you get the milestones, the joy you feel at that levels of every milestones breeds, oh, what's the word I want to say? Yeah, breeds. It breeds that happiness for you.
mhm.
That's just the truth. So happiness is always a byproduct of you walking in purpose and eating milestones at different junction of that journey. That's the way I look at it.
Amazing, amazing. That's good. Okay, so now we're gonna be turning to my audience question. Okay, so I think they've got some questions for you out here. So are
And I
you
gotta
ready?
say, please, if I spoke too fast on some things, your question could be, can you repeat yourself? And I would do that.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're gonna take this all the way from the top. Let's see. Okay, so someone said, "What motivate you to do what you do?" I think that's a good question.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. What motivates me? What motivates me is the fact that I got to figure out purpose and I wake up every day feeling privileged to actually serve within that purpose. I'll be honest with you, is the one thing. And being able to understand that while serving in that purpose, everything in my life, whether it's my wife, our daughter, our family, and everything, that we are able to foster a good sense of balance among everything. So that's something I'm actually very, very excited about. It's just I wake up every day knowing I'm walking in purpose that actually connects every other aspect of my life in a very systematical and systemic way that is just something I'm just very grateful about. To be honest with you, I'm just grateful to get on a new day and serve in a purpose. That is what motivates me. Yeah, I get my
Amazing.
inspiration from that. Yeah.
Amazing. That's good. Okay. So actually somebody said here that thank you for helping our generation. Ah, that's good. Eh? That's not a question though.
I'm lucky to do that. I'm lucky to serve in that capacity.
That's good. Okay, so another question that I have for you is this. So someone said that what is the definition of fulfillment to you?
Oh, fulfillment to me, yeah, no, the way I would say this again. So fulfillment for me, as I said, is a journey. But fulfillment for me is the fact of being able to find purpose. Number one, being able to develop strategy to journey within that purpose, and finding grace to activate those strategy for throughout my time on this earth. So for me, fulfillment is a journey, never a destination, and never be stunted. Always finding grace to implement the strategies at different levels of my journey based on the purpose that I have found.
Amazing,
I
amazing.
hope that is not a long answer. I hope it's clear.
That's okay. All right, so we're gonna go to another questions right here. So, what are the challenges that opens your eyes to your purpose?
Whew, what are the challenges? Okay. Whew. You know, one of the things for me is when I came to Canada, I came at the age of 16. Right? I came at the age of 16 and I came by myself. I didn't have my parents around me, nobody. I didn't really have anyone. It was just a great opportunity, right? Coming to Canada and everything. It was great. But I didn't understand the importance of those other aspects of life,
Hmm.
right? Um, and the truth is, the other aspects of life are very, very important. Family, friends, all of these different aspects that makes your life have a meaning. So when you leave them behind and you get to come into a new place, a new society, and you get to meet new people, and you have to come into a place where there's someone, for instance, you need to rent a place, you need to be at a certain age, there are certain limitations and things that you never had any idea about, right? You are
Hmm.
faced with a different kind of responsibility, right? So being able to navigate that responsibility, those were one of the earliest challenges for me. You begin to worry, okay, am I toughening up too fast? Am I learning too fast? Am I also living my childhood the way I should, right? Because there has to be a balance, right? So really being able to take on responsibility very early and to be able to do it in a way that, you know, you know, um, that maximizes my talents. I think that was one of the challenges faced early, but I'm grateful for the people around my life, the relationship built, where I acquired knowledge, and the way I maximized my time within that period.
Amazing, amazing. Trust me, I could relate to that so well. So good job. That's good. Okay, so um, why are people stranded in in their in their okay, I don't understand. Okay, so why are people stranded in their purpose? I think that's
Okay, okay.
yeah.
I think if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. The person can answer that question again. Is why do people get stranded in their purpose? So as I said, if it's okay for the person that answers that question, if I could tackle it from why are people stranded in their journey of fulfillment, that might be better off. If you don't mind me tackling it from that angle.
Sure.
So as I said, when in the journey of fulfillment, some people are looking at the final results, right? You want to make that impact, you want to buy that car, you want to have that family, you want to do those things. But it always has the same formula, which is you have to find your purpose, which
Mhm,
means you need to look for things, activities, ideas, figuring out your talents, your gifts. What do you like to do? I like to, play sports. I like to do this. I like to do that. You need to figure that out. And then once you figure out that giftings, all of your giftings, you begin to look at the fact of what environment allows all of those giftings to play a role. The more of your gifts that can go into a program, an activity, a space, the more you're going to feel a sense of fulfillment in that place, right? Because then you're not going to struggle. Yes, you still have to manage. You still have to inspire yourself. You still need to do those things. And then for you to be able to keep going, you're going to need higher level of grace because at different levels, you're going to meet different challenges, right? The higher you go, the bigger the challenges, right? That you're going to experience.
Hmm.
What happens is there are a couple of things that get people stunted in the process. One is they get a little bit of success and they feel like, oh, I am there, I have arrived, right? And what that does is you'll be so surprised. There is way more for you. There is way more in life for you. So you get capped. You get capped, right? And the other thing also is that some people get stunted because they face a barrier and it was so hard for them to knock it down or jump over it. And what
Hmm.
happens is they lack of better word, they just lose heart. They feel
Hmm.
like this is not it for me. I can't do it. I can't do this. I can't, I'm not. You are enough for that thing. Whatever you are whenever you're in purpose, you are built to be enough for it. So don't let the success get too much into your head because they are just milestones, and they can
Hmm.
stunt your growth. And do not let the challenges that you have not yet overcome to hold you down in a state of distress and pain because trust me, you have enough in you to go to the next level. You just gotta dig into the grace and find that grace.
Wow. Amazing, 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 amazing. Okay, so we're gonna be back to me. And then while we do that, we're gonna quickly take like 1 minute break and then we're gonna be right back and then we're gonna be taking our question and then we're gonna be rounding up. Is that okay? All right. So just take some water and then so I don't come back with too much questions for you. All right, we'll be right back. All right, all right. So we are back again. Okay. So don't worry. I don't have too much question for you again. So don't worry. Relax. You're doing a good job either ways. Okay, so here is my
Thank you
question.
for the opportunity.
How can a small act of kindness contribute to a fulfilling life?
It's all about grace. It's all about grace. I gotta say this again. Is for every point of your milestone, and this I'm just saying it right away because people underestimate this.
Hmm.
For every strategy, for every point you're sorry, is that sorry? I just want to be sure that there is no background noise from my side echoing into the show. I just want to be sure.
A little bit, but it's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Sorry. I'm trying my best to ensure that everything is okay. Um, but the big thing for me is every level of grace that you need to be able to fulfill the different milestones. There are principles that governs it. There are
Mm.
principles. It's almost like the law of gravity, right? So we know for when you jump up, you're gonna come down, right? But then if you want to fly an airplane, there is a principle that allows you to trust and lift. The principle of lift that allows the plane to go even against gravity and be able to go up in the air. So it
Mhm.
tells you that for a certain level of when you're just operating on the ground, gravity is a law that operates on you. But when you're about to go soar in the air, now you need a bigger principle, a different principle that allows you to be able to lift into the sky to defy gravity. And so when you are going on the journey of fulfillment, the ability to give, the ability to give those little things, to give those big things, whether it's your time, the ability to show a bit of kindness to that elderly person, the ability to be able to sit down and empathize with other people's experiences, irrespective of if they are your race, they are not your race, they are your religion, they are not your religion, they are disabled or abled, you are able to empathize with their experiences, the more it opens up the ability for you to be able to receive more love into you. And the more energy you can receive into you, the more you have more in you now to be able to lift higher in your journey of fulfillment. And that is one of the biggest principles when it comes to the journey of fulfillment. You lock up, you don't show those little acts of kindness, things are going to lock up against you rapidly. So that's just it. I just got to say that. It's very important. Look for it. Look for ways to give those little things, and more will come back to you.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you because it is so true that it's like you stretch out your hand like this. What do you think you're doing?
You
It's
open it
coming
up.
back at you. So
Exactly. Exactly.
coming back at you. So whatever you do, it doesn't go in vain. It's all had up to to you having a better life.
That's it. That's
So
it.
yeah, so it's been wonderful. Honestly speaking, I don't want you to go. I have someone on one of my audience saying that I should actually even bring you every month so you can come and inspire the youth. So
Oh my goodness, it's a pleasure. I'm actually, you're asking these questions, and I myself, I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm feeding. Some of the questions that are coming in, it feeds me too, right? And that's the thing. I know I'm in the right audience right now when I can both give and also receive, right? And that is important. And that's it. And that's it. And I'm grateful to be doing this with you all. I'm very grateful. Thank you so
thank
much.
you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you. Okay, so before you go, just give my audience one word before we close it up. Just give them one word.
So I'll tell you this. So we had an event this week. Is that okay? If I say, I know it's going to be one word, but I just want to give them a
Sure,
pretext of that
go
one
ahead.
word.
Go ahead.
This week we had an event, and it was an event with youths in the community and everything. My wife, she had this idea about a seed of strength. Something you can use to strengthen yourself in finding your purpose or moving in your purpose or finding fulfillment. And she called it the seed of strength. And it was a lot of cards with a lot of key things about you as a person. So I'm going to share my card, what I got in that card. Okay. What the card says for me is you are enough. You are enough.
Mhm.
And I just want to say that to somebody out there, when you are in purpose, you are enough. It doesn't matter what the variables look like. It doesn't matter how beaten up or how successful, whatever it is, what the variables are around you, you are enough for that thing. Go get it. You are enough.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Appreciate your time so much. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you very much for this. I really appreciate it. It's such a pleasure. Um, I'm sorry for any background noise. I got to say that, but thank you
It's
very much to everybody.
okay.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I'm grateful to serve in this capacity and give a little bit this way. And I hope it helps somebody out there because I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
All right, everyone. Wow, wow, wow. What a great, great, great time. Oh my goodness. There's so much information, so much information. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Like, don't just hear those information. Sometimes it might not be for you. That's the honest truth. It might not be for you. It can actually be for someone else. And how can you make an impact in someone else's life? Is by you sharing. Because when you share the video, when you share his own personal experience with someone else, because I always say this, you don't know the situation people are in. You don't know exactly what they are going through in their life currently. So you might just be there, you might be well and okay, and someone else is just right there who is in it. So I'm going to tell you this that please, I encourage you to please share with someone. Share with someone. He has given us so much information that, he can give someone hope out there. He can make someone else's life better. They can be able to find their own path. They can be able to find their own purpose. So please don't keep the video to yourself. Don't just learn to yourself alone. Share, be a shareful giver. All right. So, with that being said, it's such an amazing time. And I just want to say to all my audience, to all of you who are live with us this evening, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you guys so much. Without you guys, I won't be here. So, I just want to say thank you. And I remain your host, your one and only Niniola Fatai. And I'm going to see you all again next week, 7 p.m. We are going to be, excuse me, we are going to be having another great time. Trust me, another great, see, Nini doesn't bring it small for you. So don't worry, get ready and be prepared. We're going to have a great time. So I just want to say, each and every one of you, have a very, very wonderful evening. Enjoy yourself. And please, whatever you do, don't give up. Don't quit. Keep on trying. Keep on trying. If you fail, keep trying. Keep trying because your time is coming. And I just wish each and every one of you a very wonderful evening. Enjoy yourself. And bye now, everyone.